Hello and welcome to today's video. Our videos are not a diagnosis. We are simply speaking our opinions, not factual statements. Today we are diving back into the Amberverse, and we will see our girl fail again on the no takeout challenge. The adjusted takeout of once a week was up to every other day. Amber then blame shifts and avoids taking full accountability, then acts confused as to why people think negatively of her. She blames it on her weight and completely avoids the reality of it being because of her dazzling personality and sweet kindness. Amber admits she is still gaining weight. She then updates us on her weight loss surgery journey, even though she is still binging and not yet ready. Because Amber abuses the copyright system, clips will be heavily edited. So let's get into it.
Hey guys, welcome to week 3 weigh-in. So I'm gonna be honest, this is one of them situations where I was thinking about ending the weigh-ins, the weekly weigh-ins, because
I can smell the failure.
I noticed that judgment is keeping me from being as open as I used to be.
Actually, no, that's not the truth.
I know that there's always going to be judgment, but I just feel like the level of judgment that I receive is off the charts.
It's always someone else's fault.
I've never seen anything like it on any other YouTube video, any other YouTuber. Like, every YouTuber gets judgment, gets hate, etc. But like, it's just insane how bad mine is.
Do you need to be told everything?
Over things that are very common.
I can smell the projection invading my clean air. What Amber means here is that she is gaining weight, not losing weight, so does not want to share her weigh-ins, even though she has only done it twice in this current failing journey. So she's spinning the blame back onto her audience as to why she is not going to weigh in the future, and wants to quit after only 2 weigh-ins. If Amber was so triggered by comments, she could turn them off or she could just not read them at all. But it is much easier for Amber to project the blame onto her viewers than for her to take accountability, start working on herself, and start this current weight loss journey that has yet to begin. I promise you that I have not watched this video yet, or skipped ahead. I have no confirmation as to if she has gained weight or not, other than my own speculation. I always make my intro after I have completed editing the entire video, so that I have the right vibe and description for the whole thing. So in this stage of her video, I am usually going in blind so that my reactions come natural to me. I'm placing my bet that she is still gaining, so she is shifting the blame onto us as to why she isn't losing weight. Which is why I believe she is giving us a fresh lecture. Because if Amber was losing weight, even just a little, she would be bragging and giving off an exuberant energy. I'm less than a minute into her video and I can already tell by her body language, choice of words, and facial expressions that she is still gaining, in my opinion. It has been a hot second since Amber blame shifted and lectured us, so we were due one from our favorite speech giver.
As a human being, I make very common mistakes, and it's not that I want to get away with certain mistakes or like if I gain weight in a week. This is kind of what that's about, so you guys will see that towards the end of this video.
That was a fast confirmation to my assumption being correct.
Normal things that other people get to experience, I don't get that same experience. I am just constantly being judged and ridiculed and belittled.
Oh, the irony! It's too much!
And it sucks, and it was preventing me from making this video.
You lie.
And that's why you guys are getting it a couple days late. So I'm sorry for that.
I know it sounds like excuses, who cares?
I know deep down that I want to make these videos for the people who genuinely enjoy watching my journey. And
you keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Not just like watching it to belittle me or to make me feel like crap about myself.
I'm a professional manipulator. The trick is to beat them down with constant criticism until they crave an ounce of approval.
So the first question is, how much have you saved for weight loss surgery? So I think I'm gonna keep that private, and the only reason why I'm bringing that up right now is because I do have weight loss surgery update.
Oh, really?
So when I first, filled out the patient packet and all that, they said that it'll be like 3 to 6 weeks before they will contact me. And we were reaching about 5 weeks and I was like, okay, not getting anything, but I decided to email them.
Patience. Patience is a skill we must master.
When I emailed them, they responded with, oh, I actually have your packet right here. And they started talking about insurance. Long story short, we're still stuck at the spot where it's like my insurance or no insurance in Kentucky no longer covers weight loss surgery. Next question is, would you go back on Ozempic now that you don't care about rapid weight loss?
No, of course not, dickhead.
Honestly, no, because there's a massive Ozempic shortage and people with diabetes who has been taking Ozempic for a while aren't able to get the medicine.
How convenient is that?
So I would not take Ozempic just because of the shortage. If the shortage was stopped and everyone was getting the medicine they needed, then we can re-talk about it.
You're a lie. You're a lie.
Third question is, do you have rewards planned for hitting your weight loss goals? I don't, because I have tried to do this in the past where it's like, okay, if I lose 20 pounds, I can get a new purse. I ended up buying the new purse even before I hit the goal.
Get a hold of yourself.
Fourth question, what's been your favorite meal lately? Definitely the homemade poke bowls that we have been doing. We've had it a few times now and it's so freaking delicious. I could literally eat it daily.
Because she doesn't understand nutrition like I do.
Last question is, do you think it's fat phobic that people think Feline is either using you or a feeder? I do.
Oh, brother.
Because if I was a normal weight, people wouldn't think that Feline is using me. People wouldn't think that she's a feeder.
Do you even listen to yourself when you talk?
And it just sucks because it's like, it's pretty much proving that based on the number on the scale, you guys are making me feel like I'm not valued as a human. Like I don't have worth as a human. Like I don't deserve love, or that someone can't find me attractive or even just think that I have a good heart.
Sorry, I'm trying to find my sympathy bone. My sympathy.
Because of the number on the scale.
People don't question if Amber has a good heart because she is morbidly obese. They question her empathy, compassion, and consideration because of her own actions. It wouldn't matter what size she is.
I don't care.
And that is very, very fat phobic.
Delusion.
There are people out there that I have seen at my size who are beautiful, who have great hearts and great personality, and they deserve love.
Did I miss the point?
We deserve love just as much as someone who's 150 pounds. And I just think it's so crazy that just because someone is with me that makes them a feeder or they're using me, I have nothing to give.
Sure, Jan.
By insinuating that Feline is using me or a feeder, you're also insinuating that my exes were that way as well.
Amber's ex-girlfriends, although they also enabled Amber, they were also clinically considered to be morbidly obese, so they were struggling themselves.
As for this week, we did the whole takeout thing on Sunday, which was my last weigh-in that you guys saw, and that was not triggering at all. What triggered me, and I mean this from like the bottom of my heart, I am so grateful for anything that you guys send me in my P.O. box.
I already know what she is going to say, although I don't agree with her fans sending Amber junk to eat, as it's enabling and ignorant. But the fact that Amber is about to place blame onto her fan, instead of taking accountability for being the one to binge on chocolate bars, is just shocking behavior. Those with narcissistic personality disorder are masters at shifting the blame onto others. And if there is an inch of room where some of the fault does fall on the other person, then they will end up taking full blame from the narcissist. If Amber binged on something, she is the one who needs to take accountability. Maid Jade brings her junk food and takeout all the time, yet where is the blame shifting for Jade?
Like, it's just so kind that you guys even think of me, whether it's a letter or something you guys saw on Amazon that made you think of me. Like, it doesn't matter what it is so sweet. But someone did send me candy bars, and I don't want to blame this person because it's not the person's fault.
Wish I could, but I can't. Well, can, but won't. Should, maybe, but sure.
Because I could have easily gotten rid of the candy bars, but they massively triggered me.
It's your fault.
And it was like, I had a couple candy bar binges, I'm not gonna lie.
Almost a year ago, Amber briefly attended outpatient for binge eating disorder. Amber quickly quit without giving it a chance. Her reason was she knew better than the professionals. Those with narcissistic personality disorder are known to believe themselves to know more than anyone, including professionals. So it was no surprise she quit before giving it a chance. She said she left because she wanted to lose weight. Fast forward to the current time, and she still hasn't lost weight, and is still in a gaining era. But one thing Amber did hold onto from her short outpatient experience was her binge eating disorder psychologist. Nearly a year has passed while being with this psychologist, and Amber is no better at all. She has not gained coping skills, she still blame shifts. She still uses every excuse under the sun. She still claims that she has no self-control and that the binge monster always wins. Clearly this psychologist is not a correct fit for Amber. She would still have some days when she fails, but they should be further and further apart over time. But nearly a year later and Amber is no better at all. I believe Amber to need inpatient care, but she refuses to help herself in that manner. If she can save for weight loss surgery, then she can save for inpatient care. Something that is more important, as she has to learn to control the binging desires before weight loss surgery can even be considered. We have all seen Amber ignore professionals' advice, so I'm confident that this psychologist has offered good advice. But clearly they don't match, and Amber may not be listening. Because if this long amount of time has passed for helping an eating disorder, some growth, even a little, would be showing by this stage. But Amber is in the same position she was in before the psychologist entered her motionless journey.
And that led into a spiral of binging on other things, ordering takeout.
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
And it was like every other day. It was like one day I would do really good, next day I was binging. One day I would do really good, next day I was binging. And literally it's a candy bar binge because I don't buy candy bars. Obviously there are times where I would love a candy bar, but Feline is like, do you really need one?
Good job.
So having tons of Cadbury candy bars in my pantry was extremely triggering, and I wasn't strong enough.
Coral, you could have gave them to these imaginary friends you claim to have. Given them to a food bank, gave them to a neighbor, have Jade get rid of them. Or throw them at random adults that walk by your house and scream, free candy. And see if their parents taught them not to accept candy from strangers when they were younger. You didn't have to keep them. That's one of the first steps in recovery for binge eating disorder, not allowing utter junk into your home.
And yeah, and to go back and forth, like one day do so good and next day do so bad, and just like that back and forth was wear and tear on my body. I will tell you that. Like my gallstones, I was feeling ill.
What did you expect?
I really truly was. And it's crazy because like I wasn't having much gallstone pain for like a few years. Like it was rare. And then ever since I took Ozempic and I was losing weight and I was losing more weight, and it was like I was down like 106 pounds, whatever. I don't know if like my gallbladder just like got triggered, and ever since then it's like whenever I binge like really bad, I feel ill.
The body is trying to tell you that there's some issues.
A lot of the times it doesn't happen. There are several different types of binges. Like the one that I have been having most is like the type where it's like I don't even get ill. I don't get full. I could eat so much and there's just, it's like never ending. How does my stomach expand that big? But I noticed after taking Ozempic and after stopping, I have just been getting like super sick from binging.
Coral, your own body is trying to save you. It's screaming for you to stop and get help. Don't make this another health issue that you ignore.
And it's like sometimes not even like me being sick like that stops me, because I mean that's the issue, you know, binge eating disorder. I know with trying to get weight loss surgery, I know I'm gonna have to see a psychologist, and this is a whole other subject because I already have one, but I'm not going to be able to see the one that I have anymore.
Seeing her isn't helping, so it is to her benefit.
But by trying to get weight loss surgery, I am gonna have to see a psychologist who specializes in bariatric patients, and I think they're gonna be able to see more like what is really the issue. Is it binge eating? Is it food addiction? Is it both?
Both.
And I think I'm really gonna take advantage of this whole weight loss surgery path I'm going on, because that is what I feel like is ultimately what is gonna change my life. And right now, obviously, I couldn't go under the knife. With the way that I binge, It's not going to happen.
The penny has dropped.
Because I need to be able to get in the right headspace and the right mind frame before I do that. And I don't know if that's going to take me a couple weeks or a couple months or a year. I don't know, but...
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
We're going to figure that out. So as for my weigh-in, last week I was 514.6. This week I was 515.8. I was only up 1.2, and I think it's because I was going back and forth. One day I was doing great. Next day I wasn't. So I am still like there where my goal needs to be. So I'm happy about that, but still, like, I could have done so much better.
You're right.
But those candy bars, they really did something.
It's all your fault!
Biggest trigger food, I feel like, is just like straight up candy bars.
Yet during the recent Chips Ahoy scandal, Amber declared all food triggered her just as much when her viewers suggested for her not to bring junk into the house.
That's a contradiction.
Like, oh my God. They were delicious though. So thank you to the person who sent them to me, but I'm just gonna let this be known right now. Just don't send me food in my P.O. box because it is triggering. And I think if someone does end up sending me food, I'm just gonna have to like automatically just get rid of it.
I agree, food should absolutely not be sent to Amber. I am shocked that someone did that like Amber claims.
I am shooketh.
But Amber could have gotten rid of the chocolate bars in the first place, instead of blame shifting. Let's take a look at some of the comments on Amber's video before we leave the situation type deal. As someone who has been in eating disorder programs and therapy, if you haven't been able to walk your way through a trigger by now, then you need to find someone that is 100% more qualified. Or you need to stop deciding to pick apart the treatment for only what you want. You should be well into a phase of being able to navigate a trigger or ask for someone else to help. I absolutely know that you knew candy was a trigger, and you absolutely knew you should have removed them, so you wouldn't binge on them. This is something you learn in treatment and therapy, and by this time you should have had enough practice to help you know what to do. You also should know that food apps should be deleted because it makes food 100% more accessible. That includes grocery shopping online. You should know this by now. So you are either choosing to not work therapy and treatment, or your therapy is not holding you accountable for doing the work. And maybe you shouldn't only stick to online therapy only in order to find the best treatment for you. Yes, you need real treatment at this point. If you are so triggered by candy bars, why don't you just throw them out? Or gift them. Have Faline hide them. I know it's hard, Amber, I know. But you gotta take accountability and stop making excuses. Your life is in your hands. And clearly, there are options even if you can't control yourself. Don't get me started on what you can do outside of that. It's choices, Amber. Amberlynn, the worst trigger foods are like straight up sugar. Also Amberlynn, my psychologist and I agree that I don't have specific trigger foods. I'm just triggered by all foods. Usually I'm a strong defender, but goodness. She walked out on a binge eating program because she knew better. They said eat intuitively, she said they were wrong. She then said weeks later, I'm just going to try eating intuitively, without professional support. And here we are. Girl, honestly, someday you're going to actually have to take accountability. Nobody ate those candy bars but you. If you can't control yourself to try one a day, you aren't ready for weight loss surgery. I've struggled with binge eating, and purging myself as part of my EDNOS. It really does come down to you at the end of the day. You have to be the one to make the hard decisions or ask for help when you want to make a bad choice. Thanks for watching our channel. Please hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more. Until next time, stay safe.